Scott Lara, president of military.affairs.com, your one-stop shop for travel if you're a member of the military. If you're a veteran like I am or a family member of a military person, military.affairs.com. Let me share some insight with you. Yeah, I've been in the travel industry for over 15 years. And back in the day, people would book their vacations, their hotels, their airfare, and especially their cruises relatively short, meaning that, let's say it's June and they book a cruise for September or October of the same year. Well, that has changed because people are now booking their cruises 1 year, 2 years out. And I'll tell you why. Now, this is a secret, so don't tell anybody. For cruises, people are booking them a year or 2 years out because they want the cabin they want. They want J1024 on the Holland America Eurodam, J1024. You know why? Because J1024, J is the cabin category. It has a few more square feet in that cabin than other cabins on the ship. So I know J1024 because I've stayed in that cabin. Because a lot of people want the cabin they want. Not too close to the elevator, not too far away from the elevator, not underneath the casino, close enough to the Lido deck, but not too far. And people, because here's the deal. Only 10% of Americans have cruised. But of those 10% of Americans who have cruised, 70 to 80% of those are repeat cruisers over and over and over again. If it's Virgin Voyages, if it's Royal Caribbean, if it's Carnival, if it's Holland America Line, if it's Princess. People who cruise, for the most part, cruise over and over and over again. And that's where we talk about guaranteed cabins. Guaranteed cabins. Now, what does that mean? A guaranteed cabin means that you tell your travel agent, hey, I want this category and put me anywhere. As long as I can get on the ship, put me on there. Now, let me ask you, do you think a guaranteed cabin is cheaper than an assigned cabin? The answer is yes. A guaranteed cabin is cheaper because that lets the cruise line do their magic and put you where they want to put you. And that goes to the fact of, and I actually talked to somebody the other day about this, where they called the cruise line and they said, the cruise line people said, hey, do you want to be on the list for a complimentary cabin upgrade? And a cabin upgrade. Now that sounds all well and good. But I have found in my over 15 years in the cruise industry that 9 times, I would say 10 times out of 10, an upgrade in the eyes of the cruise line is not necessarily an upgrade in the eyes of the cruiser. What does that mean? People are booking cruises and they mostly want to get the cabin they want. Those guaranteed cabin people will roll the dice. And then as the cruise gets ready to get closer, a couple days before sailing, that's when the cruise line does their magic. Okay, you have this person with this loyalty level, we're gonna get them here. We have this person with like a low level loyalty, because you have loyalty levels, and that's a different story. And the lower level people will get less better cabins. Let me pause and talk about about loyalty. For example, Holland America, 5-star Mariner, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star. I am a 3-star Mariner because I have 150 days sailed on Holland America Line. My friends Dwight and Connie are 5-star Mariners because they've sailed 700 days on Holland America Line. 700 days, that's over 2 years on Holland America Line, because they took 3-month cruises, 4-month cruises, and so forth. And so when you get those loyalty points, the cruise line really likes you and they want to give you perks, early boarding, early tender, maybe chocolate, laundry. There's lots of perks to that. And I could talk about that in another video. But loyalty perks are important, especially if you love a certain cruise line. Now, I will say about Holland America Line, my friends, Dwight and Connie, loved Holland America Line. And now they've kind of changed their minds a little bit because, Holland America Line used to be like Titanic. The dancing, the ballroom dancing, the bow ties, getting all dressed up. And Holland America has changed a little bit several years ago to be more multi-generational, B.B. King's Blues Club, Lincoln Center, that kind of stuff. And so it's a different cruise line than it was 6 years ago. Now, I will tell you, my wife and I love Holland America Line. Love the New Amsterdam, love the Eurodam, love the Westerdam, love the Oosterdam. And we used to sail quite a bit on the Maasdam, which has been sold. Small ship, very intimate. And with Holland America Line, you gotta love the Pinnacle Grill, Chef Rudy, Canaletto, their Italian eatery. Just love Holland America Line, love it. But going back to booking out, especially with cruises, like Virgin Voyages, they're opening up 25, 26, talking about going to Alaska and so forth. But here's I don't want to use the word fear factor, but here's the fear factor. You got MSC, you got Carnival, you got NCL, you got Royal Caribbean, you got Holland America Line. All of them competing for us, right? So they have a lot more ships now. You have Carnival, got the Mardi Gras celebration. They brought some of the Costa ships over. You got MSC building ships. You got the Seaside, Seashore. You have World of Europa, that's out there. And so you have all these beds, all these cabins that the cruise lines are trying to fill. Now, I was hoping that cruise line prices would go down, and I don't see them going down that much. But I do see the cruise lines competing. Now, what the cruise lines will say, and I love the cruise lines, love you guys, they will say, we're staying in our own lane, if you will. Now, the only people I see staying in their lane is Virgin Voyages. Their lane is adults only, no kids, no tipping, great value. But then you got NCL, Royal Caribbean, Carnival. They're all trying to, get a certain demographic, the 21 to maybe, 45, 50. Age group. You have Holland America and Celebrity, battling it out, and Princess battling it out for the 40, 50, 60-year-old people that have more time, more money, and they want a more elegant, a more refined experience, more refined. No rock climbing walls, no go-karts, no paintball, none of that kind of stuff. It's more elegant. And you have to give it to Holland America Line. I mean, they sail all over the world. They do an amazing job, Alaska. Now, I haven't been on Celebrity for many years. Last time I was on Celebrity was when I was on with my friend Doug Parker of Cruise Radio. We sailed on the Solstice. Amazing ship. Blue, the restaurant on there was amazing. Now, you may ask me, hey, Scott, you don't talk about NCL very much. Why? Well, the only time I've been on NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line, is when I went on the Groove Cruise, which is EDM. Thank you, Jason Bukima. And I was on the Blake Shelton Cruise. And so NCL is NCL, Now, I love Royal Caribbean. Now, I sailed on the Mariner, and my wife and I recently sailed on the Icon of the Seas, the largest cruise ship in the world today. Amazing cruise ship, amazing staff, amazing food, amazing ports of call. Gotta love the Icon. And people ask me all the time, hey, Scott, what do you think about a ship that holds, 5, 6, 7,000 people? Love it. The Utopia is now going to be coming over from France, heading to Puerto Rico, and then coming to Port Canaveral middle of July. So going back to my original thought on booking out sooner, that does not only apply to cruises. It applies to all-inclusive resorts. Booking further out for Palladium Hotel Group or Sandals. That's important because you wait till closer to the date, prices may go up, you may have a limited number of rooms, different choices. Especially with Palladium, swim up, swim up, swim up. Everyone loves the swim up rooms, and I've stayed in the swim up rooms, and they're great. You got the little porch out there, you got a chair, you got a little bed, You just dip your toes in the water, swim around. It's about like that high deep. And it's nice. And, waiters walk by, hey, can I get a drink? Yeah. At TRS Coral, TRS Yucatan. Love it, love it, love it. TRS Turquesa, they have swim-ups. TRS Cap Cana, they have swim-ups. I stayed in a swim-up room there. But going back to booking far in advance, I firmly believe in that, even like with airlines, right? Because I even hate telling this story. About 6 months ago, I was looking at airfare going to Cancun. $225 round trip from Orlando, $250 round trip from Orlando to Cancun. And of course, today, if I wanted to leave tomorrow to go to Cancun, $300, $400, $500. And I wanted to go to Cancun, it just didn't work out. What I'm saying, my friends, is book early. And I've talked about this quite a bit about oil prices, right? Oil prices are a big part, of course, gas prices if you're going to be driving somewhere. Airline prices, and so you want, and even cruise prices. You don't talk about that much. Back in the day, they were talking about a supplement, an oil supplement, where if oil got over $100 a barrel, they had to charge you more on the cruise. Now, I don't remember if they ever did that, but they said, hey, we're going to reserve that in case oil gets over $100 a barrel, whatever. So what I'm saying is this. If you're looking at a vacation, you're a cruise, all-inclusive resort, airfare, going to Canada, going to Japan, going anywhere, book today. Don't wait to the last minute. If you do try to book last minute, let me say this. It'll be the last thing I say. 6 months ago, if I would have booked my airfare to Cancun from Orlando, it would have been great times for the flights. But the longer you wait, those good flights will be gone. So instead of going maybe from Orlando nonstop to Cancun, you may have to go from Orlando to Atlanta to Cancun. Who wants to do that? Orlando, Cancun. You don't want to go from Orlando to Atlanta and then Cancun. You don't want to do that. So book early. If you're a member of the military, if you're a veteran like I am, or a family member of a military person, militaryfairs.com. If you have any questions, email me directly, Scott@militaryfairs.com.